This is a special edition of Late Night Health. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn. We're going to spend some time with a good friend of mine, Tom Martin from Tom Martin Media. Tom is going to be celebrating International Women's Day with a free a Wisdom All Around Us global event. That's the name of Tom's podcast. And it's this Friday, and it is absolutely free, right? I'm sure it is free, Tom.
Absolutely, yeah. No, hey, Mark, it's great to see you. We are old friends. We've done a lot of projects together. It's first time we've had a conversation like this, but I'm very happy about that. Yeah, I looked at my calendar a few days ago and I saw that Friday, March 8th is International Women's Day. And I'd heard some of my clients, my PR public relations clients over the years talk about International Women's Day, but I'd never given it that much thought. Some of my clients over the years have been focused on, they've written books about women's empowerment or, women in the workplace or anti-bullying or things like that. But I'd never really put together anything to celebrate International Women's Day. But you know me, I love participating in discussion groups and accountability groups and so on. And now that we have Zoom and really can connect so easily with people around the world, I said, I should host this. I know I don't qualify by gender, but I thought, well, I can just be the host and sort of step out of the way and let all my guests and the people who join us shine.
But I think there is a place for men helping with women. I mean, um, men who are have evolved,
Mhm.
right? As you have. Have you always thought of yourself as a man that loves women, that likes women, that promotes women, that works well with women?
I would say the answer is yes. I think there was a movie like that, right? With the man who loved women or something. But it's not in the sense you might think. I just realized, it's funny, I in college I was going to become a lawyer. So I thought, well, I'll just go into law schools to let me pick a major that would be, any major will do. And I majored in philosophy, what's the meaning of life and so on. And then I realized I don't want to be a lawyer, but I'm very interested in talking about what's the meaning of life and just meaning in general. A lot of my guy friends can talk about the sports scores and that's about it. But you know me, I love, personal development and, coaching and all those kinds of things. And so I naturally find, and I'm also just interested in groups that talk about, how do you engage people's interest? How do you serve them? And that kind of thing. It can be in a spiritual sense. It can be in terms of, the way social media works, whatever it may be. But often I find that there are more women in those conversations than men.
It's
So I feel very comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's interesting because I look back at all the bosses that I've had over the years, and I've always gotten along better with women than men. It just, I'm comfortable with both, and I've worked well with both.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that I prefer working with women, and I think I do because I think women belong in in leadership roles, and
Absolutely.
right, and they don't have that, and that's part of what you'll be talking about this
Absolutely, yeah,
Friday.
100%. You know me, in my little elevator pitches that I have a 35-year media career, and the first 20 years of that time was spent as a television news producer, with CBS Sunday Morning and Good Morning America and so on. And all of those places that I worked, or many of them had female leaders, and I certainly learned that, compassion is an important element. And sometimes when I would cover stories about politics or government, and especially, or governments around the world, I'd hear about, microloans being given to, women in, small African villages so they
Mhm.
could elevate their standing in the village because they could have a better influence than men who just kind of wanted to go to war. So I definitely agree that women leaders are superior. If we had to rate them, I would definitely say that.
Well, you have a number of women that really are from around the world. You mentioned Africa. France is one of my favorite places to visit. You have several women from there, the Ukraine. Tell us about some of the people that are going to be participating in this global event.
Sure, sure. It's well, I'll start with we don't quite go A to Z, but we go A to U. And so A stands for Angola, and a new friend of mine, Selma, is a very skilled leadership coach, speaking of leadership, and she's kind of stretching herself a bit, getting more into the United States market and so on. But it is very interesting because isn't there some quotation that said, you know, I don't know. I think they always quote Einstein. I don't think he really said it, but they said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And so I think, isn't it wonderful to bring someone from another culture to help look at our challenges, because so many of our challenges are just human challenges. And I have a friend here in Connecticut. I'm based in Connecticut. He's a guy, not a lady, but he's a brainstorming or ideation consultant. And he said, when I go into companies, it can't just be the same group of people, usually men in a conference room somewhere. We need to bring in things from outside, or we take a field trip. You need to shake things up if you're ever going to get new ideas, if you're ever going to have solutions, if you're ever going to innovate. So Selma is wonderful, coming from Africa, Angola, to bring her ideas to the table. And then if I leapfrog, over to you, my friend Katya, she's been in the United States for some years now. She's an editor at Forbes magazine, but she's from the Ukraine. And a number of years ago, she did a documentary about the people of the Ukraine. And you can imagine how heartbroken she is. She's been
Oh
touring
yeah.
a lot of film festivals and traveling the world lately to show this film about the people with their own culture. And I mean, it's complicated over there, but she really wants to raise awareness there. So I think
Are women in the Ukraine and Angola for that matter, do you know if they're put down like in some countries in the Middle East?
um I from what little I know, and I'm not an expert in either case, but from what little I know, I think that they are, in both of those cultures, still kind of treated as second-class citizens. But I mean, certainly in terms of the Ukraine, the women of the Ukraine are definitely heroic, because as their men, whether they're 18 or
Mm.
65, going off to war, I mean, just the devastation that those people have gone through is amazing. So the women, and just again, it's like the women in the Middle East now. There's nowhere to go, pretty much. So it's very stressful, life-threatening, literally life-threatening. So they're very, very courageous, and I know that it's not easy in Angola. And so I really admire anyone who set their mind to improving their education so that they can make a difference for their own people. I just really admire that.
You also have somebody from the United States, and I just read that still salary disparity is still, I think, 65%, 65 to 100. I could be wrong in that number just a little bit, but even here in the United States, women don't seem to be at the same salary levels in general. I mean, there are people who are making women who are making millions and millions of dollars, but the average woman is not paid as much as a male counterpart. I think that's disgusting.
It's really crazy, unfair, certainly. I heard there's a comedian I like, Ricky Gervais, kind of thumbing his nose at the Hollywood establishment when he does these award MC roles. And he said, Jennifer Lawrence, arranged for this great film, all-female cast, and the Hollywood studios love it because it's the cheapest thing they'll ever have to do. It's like, that's unfair,
Yeah.
excuse me. And then there are certain companies that, again, from what I've heard, that are pioneering. It's like, me, I'm a big Tony Robbins fan, and one of his close friends and students is Mark Benioff, who's head of Salesforce.com. And on a number of issues, he's really pushing the envelope to bring women the pay equity and so on. But you and I, work with a certain author who shall remain nameless. And he says, it's not good, doesn't make sense for companies to do social good like that. That why are they stretching themselves? I think that's progress as far as I'm concerned. And I
Yeah,
fully
I,
agree
I,
with
I think I
that.
would, I think I would agree. We only have a few minutes left. Let's take a look at some of the other women. Muriel Blank comes to mind. She'll be on the panel.
Yeah, no, she's really, really wonderful. And she's an interesting person because she brings spirituality into business. And she's very well, there's a paper there in your area, the Los Angeles Tribune, and when they discovered Muriel and her work in terms of the writing on a spiritual topic, they really took to her and they brought her in to speak to their employees and so on, and really love her books. And again, I have a new podcast, and I'm so grateful for the support you've given me with my podcast series. I call it Wisdom All Around Us.
Right.
Years ago, when I thought I was going to write a book, well, I may still finish it one day, but I thought that'd be a great title because I really believe that every one of us, men and women, children, old folks, have wisdom. And so I just think it's really cool when kind of established journalism, which a lot of people say is cynical and negative and all that, it's not all that way. But when they notice a spiritual author and they embrace her and realize she has something to offer. So that's Muriel.
I watch with my wife at as the ABC News signs off. They always do a positive news story. So I can't handle the rest of it, but we watch for that last little 90-second soundbite about something that's very positive. Tell us about the other two women that will be on the panel with the International Women's Day 2024 Wisdom All Around Us global event hosted by Tom Martin.
That's me. Yes, sir.
That's you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one lady I'm really happy to share with the world is well, actually two, I will say. One from France, one from the UK. Flavie from France is a coach, and again, she's risen very high in some of these very profitable, influential circles. And she realizes that some people who aspire to be coaches, they need some support. It's not all at the high level within other people scrambling and trying to learn how to do things. I've been trying to learn how to work some technology myself to expand my presence, but she specializes in helping women if they really feel called to make an impact as a coach. That's her specialty. And then another lady who is a coach in the UK, Bally is her name, and she has been working with me. I've been learning from her. Basically, I've been a student, and again, it's we have kind of an accountability partnership, and I think whether we're men or women, there's real value in being held accountable. Like, here, I have a dream. Don't just sit. Again, that's what I try to do in my own teaching and coaching. If you have a dream, don't just sit on the sidelines. Learn how to get in the game, take some actions, because one great speaker by the name of Jim Rohn said that manifestation is a miracle in the sense that you have something intangible, an idea in your head, but through faith and action and support of others, like we will have on Friday, you can bring it out into the world so it really exists out there. So if anyone, female or male, would like to join us on Friday, International Women's Day, we're going to be talking about how we pursue our dreams and how we really make them become tangible.
In assembling this and talking to the various women who will be on the panel, and I'm assuming that viewers will be able to ask questions
Absolutely.
and right.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna make it very, some people, some of the sign on for a webinar or something like that, and we see a lot of PowerPoint slides and all that kind of thing. It's kind of a one-way conversation, but this is not gonna be anything like that. It'll be very short, kind of micro presentations, but then a lot of freewheeling conversation. And I know that people that join us will come away with some new friends from around the world. It's gonna be really cool.
I think that's really neat. And as a man, why did you decide to do this?
Um, because I realized for years now, I have shown up, and like I said, in some of these discussion groups where I feel supported. And again, if I'm having a bad day, I've been past couple of years have been a little challenging for me in different ways. the women that step in because of their compassion, and because they've had it harder than a lot of us guys by not, the lack of pay equity and whatnot, they are used to persevering. I mean, was it, the word persevere and resilient and so on, they really embody these qualities. And I just wanted to share that with a wider audience. I thought International Women's Day, that's the day to do it.
So where do people go
Well,
to sign in? I mean, we have it underneath us right now, but let's verbally say it.
sure. I am happy to respond to anybody who would like to join us. You can email me, tom@tommartinmedia.com. You can look for me on Facebook and you'll see, a little written information. Let's see if we can put a little link along with this. You can also go to, there's something called Linktree, linktree.com/Tom Martin Media. And the very top item is the link so that you can register and be included. But we'd love to have as many people as possible.
Great. So this Friday from noon to 2 o'clock
Eastern time.
Eastern and 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific, you can join Tom Martin, who will be hosting a Wisdom All Around Us global event. And it should be phenomenal. How many speakers will there be?
We have about 10 or 11 speakers. Again, they're, like I said, little micro presentations so that we can really include everybody who wants to join us and have questions. I'm sure the chat side of the Zoom will be very active as people get to know one another and, can follow up after Women's Day.
Well, I wish you all the luck. I will be on there for part of that, and look forward to hearing the results. And last thought, and that is, by doing special programs like this, do you think it will help women and humankind in general be better?
Absolutely. I really do believe that everyone has certain gifts inside that we can all bring forth. Again, the reason I came up with that slogan or that title, Wisdom All Around Us, is I really believe that we can learn and grow and be happier and more fulfilled if we do a little bit more listening. I know that you've, devoted your entire career to that, asking questions and listening. And so that's what we're going to be doing for 2 hours with some brilliant ladies. Some are featured speakers and some are our guests. That's what we're going to do on Friday.
Tom, thank you for joining us here on this special edition of Late Night Health. If you want to participate, we have Tom's email underneath us. That's tom@tommartinmedia.com. tom@tommartinmedia.com for International Women's Day 2024, a Wisdom All Around Us global event. Join us then. Tom, thank you very much for talking with me today.
Thank you so much.